to a brand new podcast. And as always, this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Greatness. For any business inquiries, if you want to put your brand or / business on this platform, you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. Definitely send us an email, and then we will be able to set that up for you. Same email if you want to make a free will offering. If you want to donate to this platform, we definitely can use your support as we expand worldwide. Shout out to Ireland and Brazil. So definitely send email out or donation to our PayPal account. Again, that's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. We have different links to other affiliates. That's www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. Different links to other affiliates of ours so you can support us that way. And we do have a Patreon account, which we have videos that's not posted on YouTube. That's www.patreon.com/evolutionoflondon. You also will find digital artwork and consulting services as well. You can check out www.evolutionoflondon.com. That's our online baby shopping mall where we have a whole wide range of products as men's, kids, ladies' clothes, jewelry, cologne, perfume, house products, and much more. So that's www.evolutionoflondon.com. And also check us out at evolutionoflondon.org. O-R-G. There you'll find custom clothes, accessories, digital products such as ebooks for personal as well as business use. So that's evolutionoflondon.org. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. You'll find lotions, soaps, games, DVDs, and more clothing. So check us out at evolutionoflondon.store. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 100% soy wax candles from scented to unscented. Now the scented candles are from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, peppermint, rose, vanilla, just to name a few. If you want to place an order, you can email the company at royalty9international@gmail.com. And they also on TikTok and Instagram as well, Royalty 9 International. And they will have a brand new website, so I will keep you posted on that. So definitely support their luxury candles, Royalty 9 International, on social media. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years, so if you want to book a consultation, you can email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And you also can support his merch, www.jaccessories.com. for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. Music. Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. He have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his social media platform on YouTube, you will see more of his social media sites. So like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continuing to train on YouTube, the Greatness 19 channel, as we're approaching 600 shows on YouTube. 600 to open up your third eye. So as we allege shadow banned on YouTube, I need your guys to definitely like, subscribe, and share. Pass the information along on your social media platforms and on about the Greatness 19 channel. We definitely need your support with that because, again, it's a lot of great information, but certain powers that be do not want us to know about the Greatness 19 channel. So definitely like, subscribe, and share. And also like, subscribe, and share to Mr. Evolution of London. That's our health and wellness channel. So I need your guys to promote that as well. There's a lot of great information on Mr. Evolution of London. DJ Panthro, he's an international DJ, so definitely y'all guys need to check him out. And if you want him to come to your venue, you email him at djpanthro519@gmail.com. Again, that's djpanthro519@gmail.com. Panthro, Panthro. And you definitely can check him out on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. That's DJ Panthro 519 on those social media platforms. You do have a bonus TikTok page, which is The Real DJ Panthro. The is spelled D-A. The Real DJ Panthro on TikTok. So definitely support his brand. Cindy's Place. She has custom clothes, accessories, and ebooks. So I need you guys to definitely support her brand as she's expanding. That's www.cindysplace.org. Again, that's www.cindysplace.org. O-R-G. Now, the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Anchor.fm, now Spotify for podcasters, Spotify, Google, Apple, Amazon Music, just to name a few. I know we checked about, pretty much now close to 40 different countries now has, or still have, listening to us, and we definitely appreciate that. Time to time, I always usually mention the countries, and I will soon. And I have mentioned, if you listen to previous shows, I mentioned all the lists of countries that have or still currently listen to us. So definitely thank y'all guys for that support. And again, anything I have not mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, as well as Mr. Evolution of London. Both of those platforms is on YouTube. And rumble.com. You just type in the Oracle 19. You'll find information there. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. All right, well, today, as usual, I always give my perspective of different topics. And again, it can be a little dicey / controversial, but it's my perspective / opinion. So today, I will talk about, will BRICS take over the world? Will BRICS take over the world? And what do I mean by that? One, BRICS, just in case you don't know, it stands for five different countries that makes up this title. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And they basically formulated those countries within a corporation, I should say, within the 2009-2010 period. Now, just as a footnote, India's talk about changing their name to B.R.I.C., B-H-A-R-A-T, B.R.I.C. Hopefully I pronounced it right. It's a Hindi name, and I believe it means fire. So I don't know why they will be thinking about changing their name, but again, that's within the Indian government, so your guess is as good as mine. I haven't really investigated that part, so that would be interesting. BRICS would no longer be BRICS. It'd be like B.R.I.C.S. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's the future of that. But my main topic is, will BRICS take over the world? One, would they? I noticed more countries will be signing up in the first of the year. And I believe Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and Iran already signed up, and as members going forward to the new year. And much more countries will be tagging along with these conglomerates, I'll call. Now, one, would they officially establish a currency? My question from me to you, would they officially establish a currency? And will that currency be backed up by gold? Because there's a lot of talks about that. And why did they start formulating these nations? And I tell you this, I'm not no financial expert and political expert. I'm just giving my perspective and slash opinion. Now, again, these countries is not fans of the United States. That's obvious. And keep this in mind that Russia, China, and India are superpowers, and they have nuclear capabilities. And they also traveling or planning to travel to outside of the earth, establish their thing. I know India is about to establish that, send satellites out to the moon and Mars, so forth. That is talks on their news. My point I'm making is the United States is not the only fish in the sea. That's obvious. And nobody likes the United States as a whole, only but the NATO nations, which are still hanging on, like Canada and France and so forth. But more and more nations is not dealing with the United States, not respecting the United States like they used to, nor scared of them. Because smaller countries, if the United States try to bully them, smaller countries will link themselves up with Russia or China. And therefore, what the United States is going to do, they can't do anything. And the United States know this. That's why North Korea haven't really been touched by the United States yet. That's my opinion. That's why the United States haven't nuked North Korea. Because number one, they right beside South Korea. And number two, it would be, which is really number one, you will have a direct issue with China if you do something to North Korea. And the United States know this. So it's just, they could send propaganda and talk about these countries and, sanction them and so forth, so on. But at the end of the day, these smaller countries is linking with China or Russia. So that changes the whole ball game. See, 50, 60, 70 years ago, it was all the United States. But things change. And you can see it in real time. That's why these countries formulated a union, the ones I mentioned. And more is going to sign up with B.R.I.C.S. And when they do, it will naturally change the parameters of the U.S. currency, meaning the U.S. currency won't have that same value, that same strength. And this is what it is. Now, I'm saying all of this because a lot of the regular citizens, everyday citizens, is caught in the middle of these changes. Especially in North America, especially in the United States. Citizens of the United States will probably naturally feel like, okay, so what are we going to do? We caught in the middle. And if the U.S. dollar folds, and eventually it will, because, again, here's the reality. This is even beyond BRICS for a moment. The debt, the U.S. debt, is like over $30 trillion. You cannot, the United States cannot just take, or they just, I should say this, keep owing and allowing the debt to expand, because again, like anything else, it will burst. And a lot of financial analysts is saying this all the time. So what I'm saying is not something new. You have professional analysts that knows the economy much better than myself, inside and out, confirm this. You can literally go and Google this. You can go on YouTube and type in the fall of the U.S. and why and how and so forth. So this is not brand new. It's just a matter of time. So let's say, for example, BRICS officially establish everything. Currency and the back end of currency, backed up by gold, and they have, let's say, end up having 20 to 30 countries that is part of their corporation and backing up their money. Now, once you start getting 20, let's say 20 countries, more countries are going to follow. That's just the natural order, because there's so many countries that don't like the US of A. So you literally, I would say, it's not far-fetched to say 50 countries around the world is not feeling the US of A. That's not far-fetched. Small countries or large, it doesn't matter. And I even guarantee you, even the countries that is side by side with the US of A is lukewarm in terms of the philosophies of the USA. They just go with the USA, the natural flow of things, but they really don't feel them. I'm not going to get into the what countries or who, but that's something that you have to investigate within politics. So what does that mean? If you get 50 countries that side with this new corporation, the US dollar will definitely be officially trash. It won't have that world power. Basically, that's where I'm at. So let's say, for example, you depend on the US currency. What the question for me to you, what are you going to do as citizens? What should you do? Should you be in panic mode? A lot of people, because again, we stuck in the middle as citizens. What can we do? Well, number one, nothing. That is nothing you can do. But what I mentioned on a basic level in life, you can't rely on government. You got to rely on thyself. That's what you should be doing as citizens. Like if you're on public assistance in North America, especially in the US of A, get your money. I'm a firm believer, however you get it, you do, because I'm not going to give you no money, so you need to get it the way you should get it, or need to get it. But don't rely on the US of A feeding you. That's where I'm at with you, and that's whether it's US or Canada or whatever. Don't rely on the government to feed you. Because if their money runs out, because let's say both countries' dollars is backed up by nothing. It's just paper, printed paper. They already auctioned away their gold many moons ago. And what do I mean by that is U.S. currency and Canadian currency is not backed up by gold. It's not backed up by silver. It's backed up by nothing. Just a promise. Just a promise they will or might pay you back if the countries collapse. It's like me saying to you is, and if, let's say you have money, you gave me money for me to hold for you, and I have the money in my house. But I tell you, hey, listen, but if a fire occur in my house, I could give you the money back. It's a possibility. If you have, let's say, $100,000 or better in my house, I say, well, it's not, I might can give it back to you, but it's not guaranteed. I'm just giving you this example of wording. Again, that's the same wording that banks will tell you when you have money in their bank. They will give you supposedly up to $50,000 or $100,000 back to you. But again, that's not guaranteed. There's a clause behind it. Because if it's a state of emergency, like a direct war, and let's say if the system collapsed, the government have no money, well, guess what? How can they pay back all the citizens back their money that's in the banks? Look, if you research countries like Greece or Portugal that was bankrupt, and they froze the banks where you thought you was trying to withdraw your $25 or $50 out of your account, and they wouldn't let you. It was long lines in Greece and I believe Portugal as well. People trying to get their money, and the government said, we got no money. We bankrupt. Then what? Long lines, and they ration your money. They rationing you. You only allowed to maybe take $25 out, and you maybe have $10,000 in your account. Again, I'm just giving you examples. This is not. Don't think this cannot happen in the US of A or in North America in general. When I mean North America, I'm just talking about really US and Canada. I'm not really speaking of Mexico because they already have financial problems within their banks, and their dollar really don't mean much anyway. It's a hyperinflation. But anyway, and again, I'm not an expert here. I'm just giving my perspective. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. And I'm just giving you a point of view for all of my citizens out here to start thinking outside the box and don't rely on government to protect you and save you. And many of you just sitting and relying on government to save you and thinking, well, they'll find a way to bail us out or give the money back or give us food stamps or whatever. You cannot rely. You just cannot. You must be proactive and have other means to survive. Let's start with this, because I know most of you, the basics is food. And I mentioned this on previous shows. Let's say, for example, you need to have a contingency plan. You really do. You need that. So if, let's say, for example, you run short of money, your money is not worth anything. Now, how are you going to survive? Who do you know? Who could you link up with? Who could you be affiliated with that y'all can work together where y'all can exchange food? Or you can get food from that person's house or vice versa. Who can you talk to? And see, these are the basic questions that really we don't think about. because we so separated within family, friends, and foe, we really don't have a serious individual or individuals that we can go to that we know that we can trade products with or trade food with, or maybe have to stay at their house or they stay at our house. We don't have those plans. And we really need to line ourselves up. Y'all guys really need to start storing food. And that's something many of us is not disciplined. We don't think about that. We need to, our forefathers, that's what they did within their log cabins. Storing food, when cold winters, they had enough food to carry over for the spring. Because no food grows properly in the cold winter, right? So they summer and spring, they grew their food, but they stored food for the winter to carry over for the next 3 to 4 months. This is the mindset you really need to start preparing. Canned foods, herbal teas to heal the body. As you're shopping for food, you should also shop for canned goods. Put a couple of canned goods every time you go food shopping. Buy canned goods and store it and put it aside. Water, that's essential, because if the money is worthless, it's going to be a stretch. It's going to be crazy at the supermarkets. You think the prices is high now, there might not even be food available for you, or there might be long lines. Look, it's common, these examples became a reality during COVID, which was long lines in a lot of locations throughout North America. Look, there was blackouts and stuff and issues with the bank system. I know in Canada, they had issues with the banks where you actually, for that one day, it was shut down because the internet service, like Rogers, I think I talked about that on the podcast previously. It's called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, where in Canada, their internet, the Rogers cable or Rogers internet service was down for like a day, and people didn't have cash on them. Many people just used their card. So a lot of people was scrambling. They had actually no money because everybody used the card. So the bank was down because the internet service was down at the bank. So many people literally, I think it was like a 2 to 3 days that the services were down. And people had no money. They were scrambling. People had no money to put gas in the car, go and buy food. They just had to wait it out and wait for Rogers to get their services together. Many people told me, well, some people had cash money in their house, so they didn't feel it. They just had no internet service at their house, but people managed. They still had cash to go to the bank. But the moral of the story is you need to prepare, guys. You need to have cash at the house and plus credit card availability. You need to have a little bit of everything, even commodities. I'm a firm believer to have gold and silver. You don't have to get crazy and say, I need $10,000 worth of gold and silver and stuff. Precious commodities you need to have because, okay, maybe you have a $2,000 ounce of gold. Obviously, you're not going to go to the store and buy bread and then tell the tell the manager, I want all my change back, $1,995, and you give them a gold nugget. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, that's just a precious commodity for an even trade. You might need that maybe for $2,000 worth of valuable items for your home or whatever. We got to think smart. Don't think, well, I got a gold nugget and I go to the store and cash this in. I buy a loaf of bread and then here, because the market value for that little gold nugget is $2,000. Here, buddy, here's my nugget. Give me my change. Come on, it's retarded. That's not going to happen. So we have to be practical. These things, you have plan for your future. Also, life insurance, with whole life insurance, where you can prepare for your future or your future offspring. You have to prepare for the now as well as the future. Here's another thing. Have you guys thought about if it's a flood? Major catastrophe. I know I'm a little off the topic of BRICS, but this is all tying into survival. So I'm going to get back to the BRICS topic for a moment, but this is all dealing with survival for us citizens. If it's a flood in your local neighborhood, do you have one of those inflatable boats that maybe you can survive? Just throwing it out there. Do you have a tent? Have you thought about getting a tent? Like if you literally had to camp out in the woods because of major catastrophe. Do you have proper first aid? Do you have batteries for your flashlight, enough to last you for months? Do you have candles to last you for weeks? Do you have a portable stove that can help cook items in case the lights is out? Do you have iodine tablets to purify your water in case the water goes bad? The city tap water that you drink and love every day. These things you can look at and purchase on Amazon, or you can check out your local Army Navy store in your area. You can Google where the closest one to you. These are the things you should be setting up for. Do you have friends, family, or foe that you can link up with that guarantee will help you in case of emergency? It's not like you're going to run to that person now, but you have somebody solid. Might be a state away, might be a country away. Who knows that you can run to in case of emergency? Do you have that person? Are they solid? These are the things that you need to set yourself up with to survive. Now, getting back to BRICS. Will the currency, if they create a currency, would it be a threat to the United States and the NATO countries? The answer is yes, because people will look at, okay, and which makes more sense, their currency is backed up by gold. So if something goes wrong, I know I can get my money back in precious gold. Versus within the United States, if my money goes down the toilet, I can't get my money back because it's not backed up by anything but a promise. And they tell you one thing, but it's so different. It's different because United States the deficit keep on increasing. So how could my money be guaranteed and you owe money? The country owes money, over $30 trillion. So how can that be guaranteed? If I invest in the dollar, I'm going to really get back my money because you owe money and you owe a whole lot of money, US of A. But they say, I promise, because I'm the United States, I promise you. Well, you know what? Country's not feeling that anymore. That promise is not guaranteed. Plus, they don't like them, unfortunately. So that makes it even worse. So you citizens is in the middle of everything. You have to prepare, because when things hit the fan, you caught in the middle, and these countries, or this country, say the United States and their allies, will just say, well, you know, I never told you it was absolutely guaranteed. We want to help you, but it's not guaranteed. So now you stuck. Now you scrambling. If your job fires you because it's a domino effect, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? How are you going to survive? What business are you going to start up to put money in your pocket? These are the questions you need to know. Will the US dollar weaken with this potential new currency on the rise? Of course it will. I just answered it previously. Because one, people won't be looking at the United States as the all-be-all nation within the currency. People will look at investing in BRICS. You have Saudi Arabia, they will pay people not in US dollar, they will pay people within BRICS. Because it's a stronger currency. It's backed up by gold and silver. It makes more business sense. And the United States know this, and that's why they telling the citizens, don't worry, don't panic, you be all right, we help you, we the United States of America. But countries is not buying that. Only the people in the United States and the NATO nations is buying it, the citizens. They got to keep the citizens in the fog, so you don't get in panic mode, and then you say, okay, I'm going to invest in BRICS. They don't want the U.S. citizens to be thinking that. All hell will break loose if you have that. See, if BRICS was formulated by small countries, we know the United States would have already handled them a long time ago. But you're not going to handle Russia, China, and India. You're not going to handle them if you're the US of A. I don't think they're going to go, come on, the question you have to ask, will the USA go toe for toe with Russia, China, India all together, 3 countries against them? No. And even if the United States ask Canada or, England and other NATO countries, you don't want those 3 superpowers to be on your back. Russia, China, and India against the USA and the allies? If that was a fight, I would say the winner goes to those 3 superpowers. Super Friends, activate, for all my old heads out there. Yeah, it's just too much. But as citizens, the moral of the story is you have to protect yourself. You can't depend on the U.S. government to save you, nor the NATO countries. You need to save yourself, protect yourself, get things in order financially, link up with other people that can help you or you can help them. Trade. Know you can trade, because the basic things in life we need is food and water. That's the basics. And then after that, we definitely need finances somehow, some way. So you best to really look into this and just not ignore it. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of things you can do, you need to do. You got to work, get up in the morning. But this is your livelihood. This is your livelihood. This is how you need to survive. And you need to flow within this world that you live in. And also you need to have another plan. Maybe you might have to relocate out of the United States. Do you have a place outside the United States where you can live in a different country? You have to start thinking, guys. You can't just be out here stuck on stupid. Nor can you be lazy about it and say, well, it'll be all right, I'll wait. Whatever be will be. Don't take that attitude. It's not about whatever be will be. Whatever be is what you can make it to be. So go be proactive. Line up things. It's not about being a millionaire or 100,000aire. It's not about that. It's called survival. You can survive every week off of a couple $100 if you know how to do it right. It's not impossible. Of course, you have to tighten up your belt. Of course. But you can survive. If our foreparents survived off of bread and water and soup, things like that, big buckets of soup, and they just last for a week, and they survive off of soup and water and bread for weeks, you can do the same thing if necessary. See, we got so spoiled with having a cell phone, having internet service, and we could hop on the bus. We have a car, we have e-bikes, all this electronic stuff. Electricity, we've been spoiled with that. There's people to this day that don't survive without electricity. Proper running water, outhouses. People still live that to this day, We've been very spoiled in North America. But sometimes we have to get back to the basics. Hopefully we don't have to, but you never know. So, will BRICS take over the world? I don't even know, personally. I can't even say that. I don't know. It's a big question mark. Because there's a government within the government. Shadow government. Maybe you don't know, but there's a government within the government. So these governments is puppeteers for the elitists. So you don't really know. You know, but you don't know what is really out here. But what I'm saying to you, you can do is control what you can control and don't rely on them. Because now if you rely on them, then they have control and tell you, okay, if you want this money, we have to chip you. We have to put a chip in you. If you want this job, we're going to have to put a chip in you. We have to vax you. If you want this food at this hour at the supermarket, you have to get a vax. Just in case some of you individuals, what do you mean vax? So what do you mean vax? Vaccination, shot, needle. Hopefully that makes sense. So these things you have to prepare. Because the government can easily say, if you want what I have to offer you, you have to do certain things to get it. That's the moral of the story. So I couldn't tell you what government have in store for you, but I don't think it's a good thing. And with BRICS taking over the world, it's not necessarily a good thing for you anyway, especially in North America or throughout the world. It's not like you're going to get rich that BRICS will take over the world. It's not like it's going to make you a millionaire in hindsight. It's basically going to put you in a position where now you have to pivot and have your money in different locations and survive. So it's not like you're winning with that. So that's why I mentioned previously of certain things that you need to do to survive on your own, take it back to the basics. So what are you going to do from this point forward? Are you going to start planning, or are you going to rely on the governments where you reside to save you? What say you? Like, subscribe, and share this video, this show, worldwide. And again, subscribe to the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. Like I said, I need your support with that, since y'all guys are cheap and don't want to give me no money. Then you could PayPal me at least the Evolution of London. Even if it's $1, I would appreciate that. But y'all guys don't even want to do that. So at least, can you at least promote it at least? And don't be lazy? Can you at least do that? Can you at least put it on your social media? Can you do that? It's free. Is that a big deal? Guys, man. I'm gone. Thank you for listening.